All right, we're here with another episode of the Primal Texan Experiment. We're here with Miguel and Roy, and they're from the band
Marlia Voe.
Marlia Voe. Y'all just recently came back from, not recently, but y'all came on a tour, right?
Actually, we just been playing shows locally right now. We're working on getting a tour, hopefully, going for like 2019. We pretty much kind of missed all the festivals and
You just okay.
Certain things happened to where we couldn't really do much. But now we're back on the grind. Right now we're promoting our EP, Dissonance, and we're just getting ready to kind of have people buy the packages, kind of get an early bird with the packages, which comes with like the shirt, a pin, which is the logo of our artwork that Colin did from Circus Survive, which is on the album too. It comes with a koozie.
Thank you for the koozie, by the way.
Yeah, so it's a pretty sweet package.
Yeah, we're just doing like a pre-order pretty much. So the pre-order until October 26th, and when everybody's, I guess we're gonna like ship it out like a week before, and everybody will get their stuff. But
cool. And Dissonance, how long y'all been working on that? And y'all just recently came out with that?
Yeah, we had a 3-song EP, homemade, done in this guy's room. I think
previously.
Previously, and then we decided, we kind of need to take it to that next level, so we went with Mac Damon from Hollywood Studio. And he pretty much just like made that sound just like big,
just made it sound good.
Like he did a fantastic job on it. Anthony, who helped him on there, Gabe, which is his engineers that help him with the mixing. And Dave McNair, he also mastered the EP, so I thought that was pretty cool. That guy has a pretty cool resume, or what do you call it?
Yeah, so it's like we pretty much went from like recording in a bedroom to like a legit studio. So it was like a pretty big like difference.
Yeah, with real mics, not.
Well, everything's a real mic, man. It's just like we were saying before. It's all about the software. It's all the software you have behind the equipment.
That is true, but not to Mac, not to our producer. He has like specific mics for like everything, and he's just like, he still kind of messes with my mind when like he hears something on the record. I have no idea what he was talking about. And he's like, like, oh, it's in a 2000 hertz or something like that, bringing down. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Well, when you've been listening to sound that long, for I don't know, probably how many bands he probably listens to, it gets to a point where you just realize hertz is just sound level, and he just already knows where it needs to be for what instrument. Like, it's crazy.
Exactly. Yeah. And he's just
like there'd be these times where I guess we'd be working like an arrangement, and he'd kind of just stop to kind of wait and think for about like 2 minutes, and he'd rearrange the whole fucking like song in his head. And I'm like, what? I don't know what's going on, but and we'd kind of like had to like pick up on that. But he's like very talented at what he does.
Nice. So. And now I'm gonna go a little side ship here, but Roy, you want to introduce yourself and how you got into the band?
Yeah.
What's your story? How you came to be, and where you see the band going?
Yeah, it's actually a really good question. Actually, me and Miguel started the band together. So,
we were pre-Marlia Voe.
Yeah.
Like 5 years prior to Marlia Voe. With his
it's
buddy.
Just a friend that I had in high school, but it just didn't work out. But yeah, me and Miguel started the band like, I don't know, maybe like 4 years ago. I don't think we ever expected it to get this far, but we did kind of have a goal, like it'd be nice to release a record or have like actual like solid piece of music that we'd be proud of. But like you said, like started about like 4 years ago. We went through like a lot of like member changes, sort of. I mean, we've been in the band the whole time, us two and our drummer, but we had 2 EPs that we released previous to this that, you know, nobody should ever listen to again, you know, because it just they helped us get to where we are today. But I don't know, it was really pretty much me and him, or me and Miguel. I used to be a drummer. I just wanted to play. I was in a punk band, and I just wanted to do something that was probably going to reach more people. And I told Miguel, "Hey, dude, we got to start a band." Da da da. Then I started playing guitar, which I'm not really much of a guitar player, but I didn't want to be a drummer anymore. So,
by the way, he's a sick ass drummer, though.
So why did you get tired of being a drummer then?
It's funny that you say that, because yesterday I was daydreaming. I was like, damn, I should have stayed a drummer. But the thing is, the bad thing about being a drummer is, like, you kind of just have to play your role, opposed to, like, getting to be more part of, like, writing the music, or, like, what you're trying to portray. You're just kind of stuck, you know, doing the beat, I suppose. So I just wanted to actually be able to bring my ideas to life, opposed to just, like, being the guy in the back. Which is cool. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I love drums. It's just like, I wanted to, like, paint a picture, I guess.
Yeah. Well, but there are some drummers out there that help paint that picture sometimes.
True. Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
But I don't know too much about the whole rock band lifestyle and who really commands the lead. But yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, but that's pretty much it. It's me and Miguel had an idea. We met a few people that were, like, down to, like, help us create that idea. Played a shitload of local shows. Finally got, like, to a point where we can play with cool, like, touring local bands now today. We haven't gone on tour yet or anything, but I think we're finally at that point where we kind of have some recognition to some point. But we're just trying to do it right this time around, so no more fucking around, you know.
So what bands have you been able to tour or play or go on shows with?
The last one we played with, I don't know if you know who CKY is. CKY, Slaves, Hell the Sun.
Yeah, Polyphia. Who else? There's a lot. Cianvar.
Yeah.
And then for the CKY, like, the best way I always tell people when we're selling the tickets, I was like, do you know who Bam Margera?
Bam Margera, yeah.
Well, his brother's in the band.
Yeah.
That's the band that he's in, and everyone's like, oh, yeah. And, like, it all hits him.
Or, like, technically, Jackass, the show, started from CKY.
Really?
So, I'm not sure how it works, but somehow it's a band, too. And I guess they branded it together, the band and, like, the show, which turned into Jackass. But I just thought that was interesting, you know.
Are you fans of Jackass?
I was growing up.
I think I stopped at 2. I didn't watch it in past 2.
I think I only watched the first one that came out. Other than that, it was either the episodes, but then it's just, you get, I don't know. It's not stimulating to me. It's just nuts.
Yeah,
that's all it is.
Yeah. And it's fun. It's quite funny too. Like when we kind of went our separate ways for a while. Before the band started, when he was just learning guitar, we were in the band with his best friend Tony, and I think you went to school, and then I went to school, and then I'm not sure what Tony. I don't know if he went to school too, but it might have been like a good 4 years later, and I meant to call another Roy. I meant to call this mechanic Roy because I was having, like, problems with my car. And then, like, he answers right. I was like, man, this guy sounds really young for being
a mechanic.
Well, because I work with this lady, and it was her husband, and she's older, you know, like in her 40s, or she was in her 40s, and, you know, I wasn't expecting, like, a young voice to answer. And then he's like, hey, what's up? And he's like, oh, did you call the wrong number? And I was just like, oh, no, I meant to call you, man. What's up? And then he just ends up like,
go ahead and keep talking. I need to go check on that.
All right. I don't remember if I ever Did I contact you and Tony at the same time, or was it just you? I think it was just you, because I think I asked you with Tony.
Yeah, I think it was just me.
Oh, okay.
Just know I was like at a pawn shop, like looking for something. I don't know what I was
inspire
doing.
You. Oh, cool. I might go with this off the board.
Yeah, I don't really think I had much of a budget to buy equipment back then.
Yeah, I know. It's a good thing I still had all my stuff.
Yeah.
Which now we have like more stuff.
Yeah.
Did you watch the new Weezer music video?
With Weird Al?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a time. Like that I think that made me want to watch the Kanye West and Little Pump music video, because like I watched that and I was like, okay, if I can bear this, I think I can bear watching the Little Pump and Kanye West music video.
It's really short. It's like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
I think that's what they're trying to do, because like if you have a short song, you're gonna replay it, and you just keep replaying it over and over. You're gonna get more views or plays on Spotify.
Ah, yeah, you're right. That they have that grindcore mentality. 60 seconds or like 30 seconds.
Well, what did I miss out here?
I was telling him did he watch the new what is it,
Weezer.
Oh, they came out with a new song, new music video?
Yeah, I think it's a cover, right?
Yeah,
by I don't know who sings it, but it's Africa.
Yeah, Africa by Toto, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Weird Al's in it, and I told him after I watched that music video, I was like, if I can bear this, I can watch the new Little Pump and Kanye West music video. Have you seen it?
No, I have not seen it.
But I've seen like the people in boxes. Like, I watched it and I was just like, oh, okay, this is what that's about. Because like I was watching a bunch of memes on Facebook about like the whole box thing, and like people were making videos, and like I think they have a Walmart.
Mm-hmm.
Someone made a Walmart video about that and how low the prices are. So it's like, okay, I gotta go watch it, and I watched it. It's catchy, but it's like 2 minutes long, so it's bearable.
It's bearable.
Yeah.
What? Where can people find like your music? Where can they pre-order and all that?
Right now we're streaming. Are we streaming the 2 singles on Tidal, Spotify, and Apple, or is it just on Spotify?
Yeah, well, right now our music is streaming to Spotify, Apple Music, and Tidal. But as far as like making a purchase, you can just go to our.
Well, just the singles are streaming, not the whole.
The singles right now, but currently until October 26th, you can go to MarliaVoe.com or our Facebook and Instagram. We have a direct link that'll actually take you to our merch store. And you can there's a few like bundle or packages that we have, or just like a CD you can order right now,
or a koozie.
Or a koozie,
which these are a big hit, by the way.
Really, you are selling out like crazy with those? Wow, that's awesome, man. So, who are we missing from your band still that hasn't been on here yet?
We have Arturo, who's our singer. He's got a very big personality, that guy. And then our drummer, Randy. And actually, we have a bass player right now. So we hadn't had a bass player in like a year.
A solid bass player. We haven't had a solid bass player in a while till this guy came along. And
you told me that he's been like, I remember last time when you were on the podcast that you were telling me like he would hit off really good.
I think that was our old bass player.
Okay.
He did at first, and then kind of things just went south.
How did things go south? Come on. Can't open that book and then just slam it closed.
Different views on how things should be managed in the band, and we were here first. Not that like his opinions didn't matter. It's just it didn't make sense with our.
Or like I guess he was kind of the guy who had ideas and didn't execute. Mm-hmm. And if one of us executed those ideas, he'd get like upset if we didn't give him credit or something. I'm not really sure how that works, but yeah, I don't know, just weird. He was good, but I think he's one of he was one of those people who just kind of wanted to like
take charge,
like leech onto something,
okay,
and just kind of go like without putting in the work. I guess that's the best way to put it.
Some strong words you're saying right there.
Which is very common. I think it's very common in rock bands, like.
And of course, there's a right way of doing it too, as well. You know, like at least if you're gonna contribute, I mean, at least if you're gonna jump into that wagon that's already like in motion, you know, at least like have something like great to offer.
Yeah, like something to contribute to the team.
Like we've all found like different roles. Like I do like a lot of the social media, or like kind of like our marketing to some degree. Miguel does all our like video stuff now, which that's super cool because it like takes a lot of patience.
Oh yeah.
And Arturo gets us like all our shows, networking, stuff like that. I think Randy just found like a job in like our shipping.
No, he's our maintenance guy. Like we have a problem with our gear. He's like, boom, I already know what's wrong with it.
So every single one of your band members is responsible for a task. And either marketing.
It wasn't always like that. Like we went through so many fucking like what is it, trial and error, like trying to figure out each other's roles, and it was really like a headache at first because like we were just like trying different things each other, and then like we were stepping on each other's toes, and you know, things were just, they weren't getting done right or efficiently, or things were just not getting done at all because you know, like
too many chiefs.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah. So we found a formula for us, and then it's working so far, and it's helping us, you know, get that motion back into you know, shooting forward.
Yeah. I think I like to think of ourselves more like a record label than a band, which I don't think people like hearing that, but
why is that? Why don't you think people don't like hearing that?
People are like real precious with the idea of like a band shouldn't be like a business. It should just be music. But in reality, it's both, you know?
Well, I mean, if you want it to be a career that you want to, like, it's okay if you don't want to do any of the business part and you just want to like make music, that's fine. But if you want to, you know, make this a career, you definitely have to know the business.
You also want to have your own self-control interests and not have another record label that will take in some of your interests that y'all earn. So no, I completely understand that. I mean, if people want to just do the band, they're going to lose a lot on their maybe profits and possible exposure. Whereas if you're doing the record label yourself and you have your band, I mean, what do y'all have left that y'all need to cover essentially?
I guess we're trying to have less people in our pockets, you know.
Which is pretty crazy, because like I know you were saying like how like they try to get into all that, like the band stuff, which is like the more I think he introduced me into like a lot of like podcasts or these musicians' experiences or bands' experiences with labels, and it's horrible. Like some of the stories are really bad.
Oh yeah.
Like they lose, of course they lose, you know, their what is it called?
Like publishing, or like rights to their music like for a few years and stuff like that. But
I heard like the latest thing was like their or the publishing companies or record companies are now taking a profit in from the merch that the band sell. And I'm like, what?
Yeah, it's like 360. So it's like I think today it's pretty common to have like a 360 deal, which basically when they put out, or like from my understanding, when a record gets released, things are changing now, but if they're not getting their money back from whatever they put into the record, they're gonna get it from like your touring, your merchandise, your music, whatever they have to do to get it back. But it's all aspects of the music, so just the way it is.
Yeah, and we're lucky enough that Roy does all that research. Like I barely like just scrape the iceberg of like whatever he's talking about, the research that he's done. Like I barely just like scratch the surface. I'm like, oh, okay, cool, Roy. Like, let me show you this. He's like, nah, I already saw that. Or already heard that. Or
but the weird thing is, like, I think a big part of the reason why any rock band or artist made it back in the day was being a little bit naive, because I don't think you should know all that. I think you should, but it kind of like pushes you away from taking a risk to like maybe you need to do that to maybe get to some point, but it's just like not gonna be like perfect, like the perfect picture, I guess. But I don't think people should know all the behind the scenes of the way it is, because it's just like you play music because it makes you happy, and when you actually see the way it is, it's just like kind of like just kind of like fucked up, you know.
What is that?
So you're saying ignorance is bliss in this case, where like the more you don't know about the background noise, the I don't know, the more you are tuned to being happy just playing music.
I think it should be 50-50 actually, because like we don't really make money from being in this band. We do, like, that's not to say that we haven't, but we all have full-time jobs and we get to still play music, and we put a lot of money into the last record, or apologize, the one that we're going to release that like soon. Like I was listening to a podcast actually recently with the guy named Misha from Periphery, and he was kind of explaining the same thing, like people should know, but there's like this sense of naivety that should still be there to have like a dream and go towards it and all this stuff. But I guess like today you have to have like multiple sources of income, and there shouldn't be an idea that you're really going to make money only in music, because it's just kind of unrealistic now. But especially since nobody buys CDs, you know.
Yeah, it's all about just putting everything on the internet and people downloading it and pirating it off or sharing it with their friends.
Yeah.
But hey,
or if Kanye West videos, you know.
Hey, if you want to watch that, that's your thing. But I got better things to watch. What would y'all say is y'all's favorite songs on the new record that's coming out?
I think mine is right now is one of the songs called Manos.
Manos.
Yeah, that one is like, I think I'm a little bit more attached to that one because that was our first song we wrote as a full band, where it was just like an idea from me or Roy that we wrote like in his bedroom. That was like the first song that like organically came together at our last practice spot that we had, and it was just really, I don't know, like I remember like we showed maybe like 2 people, and they both were like blown away like by, I guess, the arrangement of the song and just like the way it carried itself, and like it just seemed emotional. And this is before vocals. Like I remember my cousin came to watch us, and she kind of like teared up a little bit, and she's like, that sounded like amazing. My friend too, like he came over, my old roommate came over with his buddy, and they were just like blown away. So I was like, I think that's when we knew like, oh shit, like we got something, you know. So I thought that was pretty cool experience.
What was the name again?
It's called Manos.
Manos.
Yeah, that's like my personal favorite.
So how'd y'all come up with that name for that song? Like what?
I think I pitched the idea. It happened around the time, and it was like a perfect timing too. Because like I had an idea of like writing a song where, whoever the vocalist was gonna be, that I wanted this song to be like about just things that you're able to do with your hands, either destruction wise or something to help, you know, build something. So it's like, you know, your hands are like just these things where you can do like good or bad things with them. And that's where the concept of like where I wanted the song to be about. And then like around that same time, our old bass player, his hands got crushed. Oh, his fingers got crushed.
I forgot about
how they get crushed.
He was working for a lighting company, and I don't know if you ever like notice. You probably will never notice, but like if you ever go to light concert or somewhere like they're gonna have like great lighting or something that needs to be done for like from a third party. They put these really heavy base plates that are 90 pounds each at the bottom of the light, and it keeps the thing from tipping over, the light pole or like anything from tipping over.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I wasn't there when it happened. And I guess our drummer worked with them, and he actually drove him to like the ER emergency room to like get him stitched back on. Like I don't think his fingers fell off. I think just like skin, like
just sliced open pretty much.
Yeah, and they pretty much just fell on his fingertips, and he was out for like maybe like a month and a half on recovery because he didn't use the pick. He would use his fingers.
Oof.
Yeah.
And all that came from this one song?
Well,
it was actually like a what is it, like a coincidence.
Yeah, it was like we had to like it had to stay.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my favorite one, Roy.
I think my favorite song is the last one, which is called Melody to Mislead. It's like the slowest, like most like calmer song in the record, but it's like the most simple one to play live too, but there's so much emotion to it. I just feel like it's really gonna like reach people. Just like the lyrics or like the vibe to it. I don't know, man. Whenever I hear it now, like because like before there was never like really solid lyrics to our songs, or like I never had anything to listen back to, just like at practice or live. But now there's actually like something meaningful behind it. I can listen to our singer's lyrics. I'm like, damn, like I get a little bit kind of emotional too, you know. So it's like I can like picture like what I'm going through in it. So I was like, I think that's powerful, like because I think a lot of people could relate to a situation. I don't know, like or paint their own picture to a song, but yeah.
And how many songs are total on this album?
It's an EP, so it's 5 songs.
Five songs?
It's the 5th one, yeah.
EP, what does that mean?
Early preview, right?
Something along those lines.
It's basically like just like pretty much like an early preview. Well, from what I read, the descriptions a while back is just like an early preview of like the artists, how they sound before they drop an album.
So, I think that's or like roughly like an LP is a record which should have like 10 songs, but it goes by minutes. Okay. I'm not sure what like the duration is or whatever, but that's the way they did it back in the day. Or like a single, like if you bought like a James Brown single, it was a single just on, you know, wax. But EPs are the thing now, because like you can put out a record, but not everybody's really gonna invest time to listen to it.
So why is it that EPs are the thing? Why do you think that?
I think because you can spend less money on 5 songs and then do videos to promote it, opposed to, let's say, 10 or 12 songs and maybe do 3 videos, and nobody's gonna hear the other songs. So you can actually make a video for all 5 songs if you want to on an EP. So I think you could just do more. I think
it's kind of one of those things where like I noticed that I think Roy's dad had like or when he was talking to Roy's dad, he had a perfect example. He went to his dad's CD case or something, and then like it's like I think you told me that you asked him like, oh, I didn't know you like Scorpion or like something, and you're like, oh, I just like that one song off that album.
Oh yeah.
So I was like, oh, okay.
I remember he used to feel like he got ripped off. Like he'd go to like a Target or something and like buy a CD because he heard a single or whatever. He's like, yeah, I like 3 songs in the record. I feel like he got ripped off. It's like, wow, like he like strongly felt that way. I don't know. I guess he's like, I wish I could just buy singles, but it was before like iTunes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, instead of wasting like, I don't want to say like, I'm pretty sure there's way more talented musicians than we are, like, or a band or a unit or whatever, that can write a masterpiece, you know, a beautiful record, 12 songs, 18 songs, 20 songs. But
even like today though, like sitting down and listening to it, I don't think I don't know about you, but like I love listening to records, but it's even harder for me to sit down and just listen to a full record than it was for me like 5 years ago. I just feel like I have a shorter attention span to stuff.
Well, it's because you have a specific type of I don't want to say taste, but you just have a specific sound that you're listening for, and if you don't hear that, you just move on to the next one.
Point, yeah.
And that's pretty much what I think people do. I mean, if they have a specific kind of like sound rhythm that they're listening for, and if they don't hear that sound rhythm, they move on to the next song.
Yeah.
I mean, it's truly remarkable how everyone has like a different type of. Sometimes you'll have like the general masses that follow that same kind of sound rhythm that.
Yeah.
I mean, you hear that all the pop songs play. I mean, they all have that.
Yeah.
But then there's pop rock bands, there's hard rock bands, and then there's other variety of other type of music bands that people generally like because that's the only place you're gonna find them is with that band.
Yeah, and the other thing I noticed too is like you can tell like when a song is just like not great and they just fucking put it on the record for no reason.
True.
Like I think we might have wrote like I don't know like 30 to 50 songs, and you know like not full, but like I think fully wise we probably wrote a record already, but they just weren't strong enough to like meet to be all on that record.
It's like the funny thing is like a lot of our friend bands, they can just like write hundreds of songs like nothing around us, right?
Yeah.
And I think we're such a slow band that like we take time to write songs. Like
you want to make sure you have quality and not quantity.
Absolutely. So like I feel like when we jump into our next, let's say, EP or single, I don't even know if it's gonna sound like the way it does right now, like or who we like what we're about to release. I think like we're gonna be able to evolve opposed to like just sharing like music.
And just being stagnant, putting the same stuff out. What kind of feel or genre do you think this EP comes out as? What type of like genre? What form of rock band?
I don't know. I don't know if it's a genre, but I always tell people it's a groovy alternative rock.
Groovy alternative rock.
It's a contemporary rock.
Contemporary.
That's another one too. Yeah, because we get so many like when our EP, the first EP came out, or like the bedroom EP came out, a lot of people were just like, when they listened to all 3 songs that were on there, they were just like getting so much different types of like influences. Like I don't know, we got Judas Priest one time, we got Minus the Bear, Incubus, I don't know what other
ridiculous amounts, like
like
Mars Volta.
Mars Volta at the drive-in.
Papa Roach I heard the other day.
Oh yeah.
And it made me realize I think people like kind of whatever playlist they have, they're kind of like, oh, they sound like this band in my playlist.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, like I can listen to our record now and I'm kind of like I feel like it does paint a picture for us finally, but the only thing that we've kind of felt safe saying is just like alternative rock, I guess. But it's just kind of like, I don't really know.
That's safe. That's like, you can call anything alternative rock.
Yeah, so it's just like, I don't know.
Be bold. Be bold. Stand out.
Contemporary rock.
Contemporary rock. There you go.
Yeah, because we go based off and we say it's a metal record, we're just gonna get chewed up.
And like even like with bands that we play with, like I don't think like we fit anywhere. Like we play like metal shows, like what is it called? Like hipster. We play with like hipster bands,
folklore music bands like that.
I don't know. Just like they have like a huge following of like fans and stuff, but like
do you kind of offset the mood before the main band comes on sometimes, because people are they're generally there for the main band, and then
I think we've done a couple times, I think sometimes we like they didn't expect us, because like in our songs they're really like, I want to say diverse. Like there's really melodic parts, guitar work, drums just like mess you up on some parts because it's just like, what the fuck, I didn't expect that.
We even have like, we played a show with Polyphia, and it was kind of like, Miguel always talks about the story that there was like a heckler in the crowd, like kind of mocking our singer during sound check, and he was kind of being a douche, but it's like, whatever, like it's rock and roll, just get over it, right? And by like the end of the set, he was like the guy like cheering the most, or clapping, or just like, yeah, like he fell in love. And I was like, man, like we turned this guy around from being like a jerk to like liking the band. But I think whenever we play, I think most people just don't know what to fucking expect. And I don't think like we have this insane talent. I just don't think they know what they're hearing. And then but I think we won over a lot of people by playing like these shows that we've been able to play with, like like with these touring bands. Like I don't think we ever expect people to be excited, but it always seems that we get a really good reaction. So I don't know. I don't think we expect things.
Well, that's good. Maybe keep changing heads, making people change their views and mindsets. Where do y'all see going after this? After your EP gets released, what's next on the agenda?
Tour, probably.
Yeah, I think that's the next logical step, is actually doing a tour now. But since we finally have the videos and the actual record and the we were lucky enough to have Colin Frangisetto, I think I said his last name right, from Circus Survive, guitar player, to be a part of our record and he actually painted the cover art. And that's something really random. Like I was like super happy about that.
Yeah, you want to describe that cover art? It's very interesting.
It's hard for me to say, like, because we had a conversation. I was talking to Colin about it, and he asked me like what we had in mind or if we had any ideas. And I wanted to ask the guys, but I was like, damn, like I don't think it's gonna be honest if we give him an idea opposed to him listening to the songs, whether he likes it or not, and paint his emotion to it. So I really don't even know. When I look at it, I'm like, just like, I really feel when I look at it, I feel like that's Marlia Voe. Just contemporary rock, man.
No, which is weird because like when this the band was starting, we were like kind of like bashing our heads in like type of logo or like how do we go about this, like I don't even like, and then like the only thing I kept thinking about was moth in my mind, right? And I told Roy this idea I had about moth, and I didn't give this idea to Colin, like to paint, like yeah, that was just his own thing, and that's cool because like I don't know, that just made me feel somewhat like, I guess the whatever brainwave we put into the record like it resonated onto him, and then, you know, a moth came out.
That's cool.
But like what I take from it, like I guess our music, because we were always like after work practicing like to fucking 2 a.m. in the morning,
5 days a week, like legitimately. It's crazy. So
that to me was just like, fuck, we're like moths, just like at night, just
hey, that's actually a good point.
Just fucking dancing around. and that always stuck out to me, because I was just like, this is fucking like I don't know, like moth has to do something with the band in the beginning. Doesn't matter what's gonna happen later on, but yeah, I give him the idea and he got it like 100% right on the point. Like we had old stickers and it was just like basically like hands, and then they created a moth, and that was the first moth thing that we had. And I guess like once we started getting the ball rolling with Mac Damon and kind of started getting the artwork, needing artwork for it, that's when I don't even know how you got contact with Colin.
Or just emailed him.
Just straight up email. Just straight up email.
Yeah,
Okay.
You'd be surprised what just sending a simple message to somebody will do. I mean, maybe they'll respond, but maybe they won't.
I'll say this, man. Like I've sent a lot of emails to like sort of people in the industry, things like that. He was like the most genuine person I've got to speak to. Like not like literally by phone. We kind of kept it professional, but very genuine. Willing, like I would ask him just kind of like random advice stuff, not music related, just kind of like stuff that I was doing at the time with like graphic design. It's ridiculous how like not ridiculous, it's just like he just seems like a very kind person, and like I'm really happy that he was the person to portray the artwork for us, because there's like that doesn't happen. I don't think people are usually that willing to help a band our level or with our budget, which we paid an honest price for the work, right? But
y'all gave him a price before.
No, he gave us like kind of like options, and I was like, no, we have to go with an original art piece. We have to do original, just do it from scratch. So, but I mean, he was really like supportive. Like he was very like he kept us updated with the process, and like kind of I don't know, it was like a really easy experience, I guess. And he was willing to work with our time frame too. Like we had a deadline. So,
yeah,
but it was cool.
And the cool thing is, his artwork is a little unique. So
is this also one of his? Okay.
Was that you or Megan?
Oh, that was me.
Okay. Yeah. So hopefully, if we either do something, another EP or a full record, I'm more than happy to work with that guy again. Yeah. Just to kind of keep it that same flow going. But yeah, like you said, I also hit up artists and like no messages back. No messages back. But I mean, I guess it was kind of a sign, I guess, just that he responded and he agreed. We agreed for the price, and it was just like, I don't know.
And then on the flip side, there's bands who don't want to pay a dime for anything. It's ridiculous. I think like if you're paying for someone, or if like someone's gonna bring you value, like you should pay the price for it. Like, I mean, it's just the way it works. I think
it's a trade.
Yeah.
it's not a trade if you just expect someone to do something for you and then don't repay them. Yeah. I mean, you always have to. It's a trade. You're trading money for his skills.
Absolutely. Yeah.
To do artwork for you. Yeah. So yeah, but I mean, that's just the world. Sometimes some people don't pay. That's why there's lawsuits and all that crap. So.
It's true.
So, where would y'all like to tour?
I think logically, we came to a realistic decision that we're probably going to stick in Texas for right now to at least build our brand here, and then kind of go from there. But I don't know, maybe like, I don't know if you have anything in mind. I always thought like the West Coast was like the thing you're supposed to do for some reason.
I'm more of like New York. I want to go to New York.
See, I've had some friends that have toured through like, I guess, Tennessee. Like they tour hitting the little spots along all the way to Nashville, Tennessee.
Oh, nice.
And then going up to Ohio and then coming back down. Like they didn't go New York, but in the previous years before that, they'd gone the West Coast scene and all that.
How was their experience with that?
Oh, they loved it. Or they always told me amazing stories, so I'm just all like, yeah, that's cool. It sounds like y'all really enjoyed yourself out there. So, but
I think like that's gonna be like one of the coolest thing is kind of playing in different cities, and hopefully we get like great reactions, and we usually get people after the show kind of come up to us and you know, talk to us and like, oh, what does your name mean, or how long you guys been, or stuff like that, and which is pretty cool. And we get to catch their names, you know, kind of like just try to
make that connection.
Yeah, trying to build that connection, and hopefully, you know, create a long-term fan.
How did y'all get the name? You might have said it on the last podcast, but I don't remember.
This guy.
You kind of like it's not something I was searching for. I just like had a conversation with my dad about like, it's gonna sound really random, but I was just kind of going through like a breakup, I guess, and I was talking to my dad about like voodoo, not like just like a voodoo woman, right? He was like, we started kind of like laughing about that, and he's like, oh, have you heard this song called Marilla Voe? He's like, no, like I don't know. Like, well, this country singer named Bobby Bear, he sings a song, Marilla Voe, da da da. And I was like, never heard it. Tried Googling it, YouTube, couldn't find shit, right? And about like 10 minutes of searching for this unknown name, I was like, are you sure you're saying this right? Because I'm not finding anything. I'm using Google, right? And it turned out that the actual name is Marlia Voe. And so it's a voodoo woman or voodoo practitioner from Louisiana, like back in the day. I think she has like a gravesite there still. Like it's supposed to be like really popular or something, but we finally found the song, and it's like, hey, you spelled it wrong, but I saved the name because I just thought it sounded interesting, even though it didn't mean anything. But I always thought, man, this would probably be a cool song title, because I just kind of stuck with me. And when we had the idea of starting a band, I was like, we should probably use this name, because if you Google it, nothing else is gonna pop up except us, because you could easily like have a band name and choose. If you choose a wrong one,
yeah, you'll have multiple bands.
You're gonna be like a auto body shop or like jewelry. It's just like, so you have to be really specific with your name today. And if you can make something unique where it doesn't really mean anything, and you brand it yourself, like especially on the internet, it's gonna be. I think it's a smarter decision. But I didn't. It just happened by accident. But
that's nice. No, that's a good story that you have for your band name. I mean, your dad basically gave you the name of your band, but much, he meant he just mispronounced the song. Yeah. What was the song?
It's Marlia Voe.
Marlia Voe.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
We're actually sending her a package to her grave.
Yeah, actually, if we do go on the tour, if we go to New Orleans, that'd probably be like the coolest thing to visit. Kind of like,
go see your grave and then get like, some voodoo hex on your band.
Drop an EP there.
Yeah, I did hear that that's not her real grave, like, but
it's more like a worship kind of thing.
Yeah.
Apparently, she makes positive wishes for people. Like you make like a wish or whatever, or not a wish, but like
a positive thought.
Yeah, and then she brings positivity too. But you're supposed to bring a gift.
Like, but is there a catch though? Like, do you die like as soon as you meet that goal? Just like die off.
Or you just have epic failure after you have an awesome success. Right. Like you're riding a wave and you're at the peak of your success, and then you just have an epic failure.
Or she's gonna get 10% of our royalties. Something.
I made this happen. No, but I think the other thing too that I'm kind of excited for tours is that I'm a big foodie, so like I'm pretty happy that hopefully I'll be eating like different places. Like I think one of our first shows out of the city besides Austin, because Austin's like 2 hours away. We played in Houston, and I convinced these guys to, like, it was expensive too, but it was all our band fun.
What?
I convinced them to let's go eat at this crawfish place. I mean, the food was delicious, but it was fucking spicy as fuck.
What? Come on, you're Mexican.
No. I was surprised I was handling it, and I look over to Roy, and like Roy's just like red and just sweating.
But it was really good though.
He was like, nah, it's good.
It was really good.
And then like for some reason, like the food wasn't as hot as the corn on the cob. Like no one wanted to eat the corn on the cob.
What did it have? Like habaneros on it or something?
I have no idea, but like it was just covered in the seasoning, and then like no one wanted to eat the corn on the cob because it was just like too hot. But yeah, the food was great. But like that's one of the things that I'm like super excited for. It's like either get like the best like food or desserts in that town or whatever it's known for.
So Miguel wants to make us broke, is what he's saying.
Yeah, pretty much. But we're gonna eat good though.
Or you're gonna be eating a lot of In-N-Outs or Whataburger or Dairy Queen.
That's so funny because like we like a band here in town, and like they're always like at Whataburger.
Oh, yeah.
They're
really
always, like posting up at Whataburger after the show. I think there's a couple bands sponsored by Taco Bell too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Yeah, Taco Bell like kind of like sponsors them or something if they're touring artists. If they're legitimate, they'll give them like
free tacos,
free
crunchy tacos that only cost $1 right? anyways.
Yeah, pretty much promote.
The downfall is like if you don't have a porta potty in your thing, or you got this, if you're stuck somewhere in the desert, you better hold that shit in.
So for y'all's tour, do y'all already have a tour van coming along, or y'all in the process of getting one?
No, we have one. Our drummer ended up trading in his car.
He traded in his car.
What do you trade in?
He had a Scion, and like Scion went out of business.
Scions are POS.
Yeah, it went out of business, and like he was like super like didn't want that car anymore, and like for some reason he was just like, man, I just want to like park in the hood and like just have someone steal it so you could just like report it. But like
having a van has been really helpful though, because like we just can load all our gear, play a show, like load it back in and stuff. Because like back then we were like having to put it in one car, like we could show up in like 3 different cars, and now it's just like super easy. But we just need to put it to use now.
Yeah,
do it.
Yeah,
we're pretty excited that we have the band kind of taken care of, because like what Roy said, there's been like stories. I think who was that band you were telling me? Black Dahlia. They were like drove in 4 cars on tour.
What?
yeah, like with the Black Dahlia. Wait, was it Black Dahlia?
Or was it kill
Black Dahlia, or like As I Lay Dying, I think. Like their first tour, they did like drove in like 5 cars. And then Fall Out Boy, I think one of their first tours, they had like a fucked up van, and the heater didn't turn off, so like they were stuck driving in like the summer with the heater on, and had to like roll down the windows the entire like time, which is crazy. Like
that's awesome.
But to me, it's like, see, those guys like really just had a passion, like they didn't care.
Yeah.
And I think that goes back to that naivety thing. It's like you really want to have to just love it or don't, you know, because that's crazy.
Yeah. I have like kind of like a side little story about the heater thing.
Yeah.
This is secondhand told to me, but there's this group of friends. They were riding up to Austin, and they decided to play a trick on the person sitting in the back seat. So they turn up the heater, and they were just playing it cool up front. They're like, the guy in the back goes, "Man, it's hot back here. Y'all want to turn up the AC?" It's like, AC's on. It's on full blast. We feel fine. So like, no man, I'm sweating. And like they're just playing a mean trick on him, and like they were taking the suffering too. It was nuts.
Were they like? Was it like during like summer's most brutal day?
I don't remember. I don't know what time of the year it was. I just know it was a fucked up story to do with one of your friends, but it's still funny as shit.
It sucks.
So y'all have anything else y'all want to share with Marlia Voe?
We have 2 music videos right now. Isolation Cycles, which just came out, which everyone is able to go check out right now. And then we have Bargains and Blessings. That was our first video we released to promote the record. But we have that going on. Our record's going to be out October 26, 2018. You can pre-order it. Just go to marliavoe.com or our Facebook, Instagram. But that's pretty much it. We're trying to just get people to be interested in the record. If you're willing to support it, you know, buy it. But
y'all have any free samples that y'all like, just little teasers anywhere that people can find on the website or anything like that?
You can go to Spotify, Tidal, and Apple Music right now. Yeah,
cool.
Yeah, and then just a quick shout out before I forget. I just want to give a quick shout out to Mac Damon. You know, he's kind of opened our eyes on to be musicians. Efficient musicians. Also to Randy Bonilla's for kind of letting us be on the Texas tracks, which is pretty cool, because that 995 Kiss thing goes a long way when we tell people here in town, because everyone knows what 995 Kiss is. It's like, oh, you're gonna be on Kiss. And then also to a quick shout out to my manager, Robin. She has like had so much to put up with me as far as like my scheduling, because like she would find a way for me to have that day off, like if we have a show or like we had a random show. So like, to all our managers, if they have to deal with our BS on like last minute, like, hey, I need this day off,
man. Bunch of trouble.
Like that has helped so much as far as like kind of like trying to, because we don't want to be that band where they cancel or like just don't want to lose an opportunity to not do that show,
Yeah. So yeah, you never want to lose an opportunity no matter what.
So yeah, so like quick shout out to all those guys for like kind of helping us, move along and kind of get to where we're at right now.
Awesome. Well, thank you two for coming on. Hopefully we'll do this down the road.
Sure.
Maybe with more of your band. We'll see. Yeah. We'll see what happens. All right. Thanks for joining in. Hope you all enjoyed the podcast. Take care, everyone. Be nice to one another. Bye.